Howdy, it's sunny.badummy. I'm really sorry I haven't posted in a while, mainly because I've been very sick as of late, and I've also had art block, so that's so much fun. But I actually wanted to get back into posting because I've noticed that my mood gets so much better after I record and post a video, even if it takes a while to edit. I just think that it's a good way for me as a person that doesn't normally speak a lot, or that spends most of their time listening to other people, to be able to explain how my mind works and what I think and express myself, not only through my art but through my words, because there are only so many words that I can put on an Instagram caption, and to be honest, most people don't even read those. So anyways, on to today's topic. This is going to be a bit of a part 2 for the Bartholomew video. If you haven't seen that, I think it's the second video that I ever posted on the channel, and it's about this classmate of mine called, well, his name isn't Bartholomew, but I call him that, so it's what we're gonna stick with. New year, new school year, new Bartholomew, and I just want to talk a bit about him and how he's been as an individual. Honestly, this new school year, Bartholomew has been one of the scariest people you can be around, and I'm going to elaborate on that. The problem is that, you know, those types of people that get very influenced by the media that they watch. So, you know, the people that, for example, they watched Twilight once and now they pretend to be a vampire. Yeah, Bartholomew is one of those people. As many of you know, not at the beginning of the year, but a couple months ago, the Netflix series Dahmer came out, and Bartholomew liked the show a lot. So much to the point where he would start making very graphic jokes, as he calls them, where he would threaten classmates, including me, which, even though he says it's a joke, which was very concerning. And this kept on for a couple of months, and sometimes he still gets aggressive. I'm not saying this out of fear. To be honest, I think that Bartholomew is not capable of, well, he would be capable, but I'm not scared of Bartholomew. I feel like I can easily 1v1 him if push were ever to shove. And I'm saying that, I want to say that he would not be able to hurt anyone, or he wouldn't be capable of doing such, but at the same time, while he was having this weird phase where he would threaten people with gruesome violence, as a joke, according to him, he would have these aggressive outbursts. An example of this can be the fact that first test the first test that we had this year, which was a test in marketing, because not many of you know, but I'm actually majoring in business as a high school student, which you can do in Sweden, which is the country that I live in. So I'm doing business, and one of the classes that you have this year is marketing, and how marketing works, etc. So first test comes around. He's very stressed. Obviously, it's the first test. We don't really know how hard it's going to be. So we finish the test. He asks me what I answered on the questions. I go through it with him. He answered a question wrong because he read it wrong, and I explained that to him. And he went on to start kicking things on the school property. We wanted to go play games because our school has this separate room where they have a pool table, and they also have some gym equipment because stuff happened, and we have like a half gym, half spare time, free time, playtime room. I don't want to call it playtime because we're adults, but same thing. And as soon as this man walks into that room, he starts kicking the gym equipment. Like, I don't know what, like, bro, what's your damage? What's your damage? Do you think you're gonna be able to actually break this gym equipment? Why are you taking your rage and anger, frustration out on gym equipment? Like, hello? Anyways, a couple days later, we get our results. There's this guy in my class. Let's call him Bob. Bob is known as let's say not the brightest person in our class. Like, he asks some of the most interesting questions I have ever heard in my life. One time he asked a person that was holding a presentation what would happen if we invested in solar energy and the sun just suddenly disappeared. Like, what would happen? So Bob gets an A on this test, and honestly most people in our class get an A on this test. Once Bartholomew hears about this, he looks at his grades. He got a B, and he starts throwing stuff. He slams his table, he throws his Chromebook, leaves the classroom. Mind you, our teacher had just given us like study time, but the teacher was still there. He just left the classroom, comes back. He overhears Bob talking to us, and we're congratulating him because Bob got 50 out of 50, so he got like the highest score ever, like in the entire class. He's furious again, needs to walk out. It was an entire thing. I think he misses class like a day or two after. We have another test. He's really nervous about it. Then we get the results for the second test. He comes over to as I'm checking my grades, as I'm checking my results. He's like, "Oh, what grade did you get?" And I'm like, "I got a 45 out of 50, which is an A." And he's like, "Oh, I got a 47 out of 50, which is also an A, but I got a higher grade than you." So I was like, yeah, but at least I got a 47 on the last test, which is an A, and you got a B. Because if you're gonna open that can of worms, like, you better be able to take what I'm about to deliver. Bro gets so mad. He threatens me with violence. Dahmer style. if you know, you know. I'm like, whoa, calm down. And after that, like, he starts calming down. He starts watching Castlevania, has this entire obsession with the character Hector, forces me to watch the show. I call Hector a baby girl because he is. There's this entire scene where the girl that kidnaps him calls him pretty, and he's like, oh, you think I'm pretty? That's baby girl energy. I'm sorry, I had to say it. So he starts getting better and better. So obviously we think it's time to start messing with him again. So a little update on the things that we have convinced Bartholomew of. Number 1, we invented a new word. We call it tricacious. Tricacious means overly aggressive for no reason. We use it to describe him. It's become a part of his vocabulary at this point. Yes. Number 2, there was this entire TikTok going around about male gymnasts and the clouds that you can see when they're on their bar. We convinced him that instead of the dust that comes from the chalk, that it's wet, evaporating because of the friction that's being created on the bar itself. He believes that now. You're welcome. What else? We convinced him that female genitalia closes like a clam. Just snaps shut from time to time. That's how it works. Today, I asked him how much pee is in urine. He told me 30%. Pee and urine are the same thing. I don't even know what to say. So yeah, it's been okay. From time to time, still threatens people and says odd stuff, but we're just hoping that it's a phase. I've told him to go to therapy because from time to time he scares me. One time we were walking alone and he starts asking me if I find him attractive, and I don't want to get into that. So he just stops in the middle of the road and we're alone. We're like on a road. There's no one else there. It's pretty chilly. He just stops. And he's like, hey, Sunny, if you didn't know me and we were walking down a road, you saw me walking down the street. You don't know me. I don't know you. What would you rate me from 1 to 10? And I freeze because I don't know what I'm supposed to tell this man. If I give him too high of a score, I won't hear the end of it. And let me tell you, a Bartholomew with an overgrown ego is worse than a threatening Bartholomew. But also, if I give him a low score, we're on a lonely alleyway, and I don't want this man to get mad. I'm not scared of him, but I would prefer to not get into an altercation. So I just change the topic and I continue on with my day. There's so much stuff going on with Bartholomew as of late. I feel like this is going to be an entire series. But that's all for now. Thank you for listening.